Welcome to the deep dive. You've probably seen the headlines, maybe heard the buzz.
Oh, yeah.
Celebs like Dwayne Wade, Kim Kardashian, they're talking up these full-body MRI scans. Like it's the ultimate health move.
It really feels like that, doesn't it? The promise is, well, it's incredibly tempting. Spot disease early, take charge, see what might be lurking inside.
Exactly. Feels super cutting edge, this idea of proactive health.
It does. And, that sense of empowerment is a huge draw. But today, our mission is really to unpack this. Let's look at the reality of these whole body scans.
Okay.
We'll explore the promise, sure, but also the significant criticisms and potential downsides that the medical folks are raising.
Right. So who really benefits and maybe who doesn't? We're pulling from recent research, critical articles, specific studies.
Yeah, trying to get the full picture for you.
Okay, so this allure, beyond the celebrity stuff, what's the core appeal? Why are people seeking these out?
Well, basically, it's the idea of getting this super comprehensive checkup, right, head to toe, in about an hour.
And no radiation, like a CT scan. Uses magnets, radio waves.
Exactly. It sounds fantastic. And then you hear these stories, like Calvin's son, healthy ER doc, 37 years old.
Yeah.
His scan found an aggressive kidney cancer. Aggressive? He had surgery. Calls it life-saving, though he does warn and take 100% responsibility for the consequences.
Wow. Okay. And he's not the only one, right? There was Ryan Crownholm.
Right. The health hacker, Army vet. His Pernuvo scan found a 3-inch renal cell carcinoma. He flat out says it saved his life.
So for people like that, it's hard to argue. It's profound. That peace of mind, feeling in control, you can see why demand is, well, soaring.
Absolutely. That desire for info, for feeling secure, is a very powerful motivator.
But then, how do we square that with the medical community? They seem pretty skeptical, at least for general screening. Feels like a contradiction.
It is. It's a real tension point.
Yeah.
You have experts like Dr. Matthew Davenport at Michigan saying, pretty bluntly actually, that for the average healthy person, the odds of being hurt are higher than the odds you're going to be healthy.
Hurt.
Well, it often comes down to these things called incidentalomas, basically red flags that pop up on the scan.
Okay.
And they pop up a lot, maybe 15, even 30% of scans show something. But most of the time, it turns out to be nothing serious.
Oh, man. So you pay all this money for peace of mind, and instead you get a red flag. That sounds incredibly stressful.
It is. And these incidentalomas, they kick off what doctors call cascades of care.
Cascades of care.
Yeah, think about it. You get the scan, find a blip. Now you need follow-up tests, maybe invasive biopsies, maybe even surgery.
With all the risks that come with that bleeding, anesthesia.
Exactly. And it's not just physical risk. It's the financial cost, the emotional toll, the anxiety. One writer talked about a prostate incidentaloma that caused immense stress.
So it's like opening a can of worms you didn't need to open. How do you even know it's a real threat versus just noise?
That's the million-dollar question, and it leads straight into this concept of overdiagnosis. There's this barnyard analogy they use for cancers. Some cancers are like turtles, so slow-growing, they'd probably never hurt you if you just left them alone. Some are like birds, just too aggressive, you can't catch them early enough anyway. It's the rabbits you can potentially fence in with early detection.
I see. So you might find a turtle and treat it aggressively, even though it was never going to cause a problem.
Precisely. Like what happened in South Korea with thyroid cancer screening. Diagnoses shot way up, but death rates didn't budge. Thousands had their thyroids removed unnecessarily.
That really puts it in perspective. Okay, so it makes sense why the big medical groups, American College of Radiology, Radiological Society of North America, why they don't recommend these for average healthy folks.
Right. And crucially, they stress these scans don't replace standard screenings. Mammograms, colonoscopies, the things we know work.
They're not a substitute.
Definitely not.
So are they just overhyped then? Is there any place for them?
Oh, absolutely. And this is really important. The medical world does agree they are essential, even evolving tools for very specific groups.
Okay, who?
Primarily, we're talking about people, often children and adolescents, with known cancer predisposition syndromes. Things like Li-Fraumeni syndrome, LFS, or CMMRD. These are genetic conditions giving them a much, much higher lifetime risk of cancer.
Okay. So for those individuals, the risk-benefit calculation is totally different. Why is it so crucial for them?
Well, for these high-risk patients, the scans can detect tumors before they cause symptoms, often without the ionizing radiation of CTs, which is vital, especially in kids.
Right, less radiation exposure.
And the studies show it works. It actually improves survival rates in these specific groups because you're catching potentially aggressive cancers super early when treatment can be most effective. even curative,
So it genuinely changes their outlook.
fundamentally. And for them, a clean scan, a normal scan, has a really high negative predictive value. It gives real reassurance.
Okay, that makes sense. Are there challenges even for these groups?
Sure, practical things. Little kids might need general anesthesia, which has its own risks to discuss. Access to the machines isn't universal. And just handling the massive amount of data from each scan.
Got it. So, wrapping this up, it seems the key takeaway is this huge distinction. Whole-body MRI isn't some magic bullet for general wellness checks because of those risks, false alarms, unnecessary procedures.
Right, the incidentalomas and cascades of care.
But for certain people with specific genetic high risks, it's an incredibly valuable, even life-saving surveillance tool.
Exactly. It's indispensable in those cases.
Which leaves us with a pretty big thought, doesn't it? In this age where we can get so much information about ourselves.
Yeah.
How do you balance that desire for data, for knowing everything about your health, against the real risk of too much information that might just cause anxiety and lead to interventions you didn't actually need?
And maybe the flip side. How do we make sure these powerful diagnostic tools get used where they truly make a difference, where they save lives, and not just, to satisfy curiosity?
Something definitely worth thinking about. Thanks for breaking that down.
My pleasure.